Hey guys, welcome to today's video. Today we've got a Squaresoft game when Squaresoft was actually good. This is a Japanese game. I think they wound up bringing this back on PlayStation 1. But this is one of their shooters, I believe, if I remember right. Oh no, this is Front Mission. This is a little different. This is an RPG, I believe. No. Alright, we got fire. Okay, that button doesn't do anything. We got fire, jump, grapple, block. Alright, so L doesn't do any. The left bumper doesn't do anything. Right bumper we block. We got some grapple, we got jump, and then we got fire. I'm sure the other button will do something at some point. Squish! Yeah, I think I was thinking it was a different game. You know what's funny is they have this whole conversation going on below you, but how are you supposed to read that and actually play this game? Like, I don't get that. Like, we're supposed to be reading while we're actually fighting here? It's so stupid. Like, I don't understand. And good lord, how many... Oh, so you can shoot up. Okay. So you can directionally shoot. I mean, come on. Like, I don't care how much armor this guy has. He shouldn't be able to take that much. Again, this is the first level, but so far, I mean, that was a very sad kind of first mission, but I get it. You know, we're trying to figure out how to play the game. It just felt so short, and the fact that they're talking at the bottom while you're trying to maneuver, move, fight, do whatever, maybe you could have not cared and just read everything. Yeah, so like that's what I thought. It was an RPG. Like, we're getting experience and doing all that. I'm so used to A being... let's see, equip. No ally. Alright. Alright, let's just launch. Call it a day. So let's see how the level is and go from there. Really? Can we just squish these guys? No. That's kind of silly that we can't squish them. Like, that would have actually been so much better to be able to actually run them down. How about hitting them? Can we punch them? Let's see if we can punch them. Whatever. Yeah, we can punch them. Alright. So that works. We can save ammo. Just punch the little bastards. So far, the levels, it's kind of boring. I like the level design. It's all kind of the same. We just keep fighting the same two things over and over again. And they're not even, like, complex enough to even bother with anything. Was that from... Did I get... Did that one... Okay. It does knock you back. That's kind of cool that they have that. Are we just supposed to avoid this? Is that what's going on here? Not doing a very good job of it. Ah, I jumped right into it. Okay, so yeah. We barely got through that one. So that's the level, like, if that's really what the levels are, is this quick little, very boring kind of thing, then I don't know, the game just doesn't seem overly engaging, you know? We'll check out one or two more levels to see what happened. So now we're going back. Let's go to the let's see what's up with the shop. Shop. What can we do and what money do we have? So hard knuckles. So we already have all of this. Okay, so we're at a shop that has stuff that we already own all of. What is even the point then at this point? And we don't get anything. We haven't had anything or got anything that needed to do any. Let's go back and, because I forget we have to hit the button again. So let's just, okay, so that's done. The blue is done. So now we go. Do we have to do this in order to be able to access the next? There we go. Okay. So it's very intuitive. You have to move to the one to be able to move to the other one rather than being able to just pick something down the road and go. Nothing wrong with it, but it's just a little obnoxious. Like, is it really necessary? Let's just launch. Oh, so... Oh, that didn't blow up that one? Yeah, this is very... And the computer's an idiot. Why it gets close and then takes damage, I don't understand. Yeah, I don't know, it's not a very well thought out game, I don't feel like. I feel like it's fan service. Okay, I guess we don't have to blow those up. I thought he was stuck. I guess I should use a block more. The picture of this guy is hilarious. Yeah, the blocking, you can't fire when you block, understandable, because otherwise you could just sit behind it. But all in all, you gotta block, then shoot, and then block to do all the thing. I mean, I get what they're doing here, and I get what they're going for. And there's definitely an audience for this game, but I think that the audience that's really gonna get into this game is probably a lot smaller than they thought. I don't know. The game is pretty generic and basic. I mean, I know we're just in the early stages, but the levels are so short, are pretty boring, with like the same enemy or two over and over and over again. Like, I mean, I understand that I did it completely terribly and I should have been blocking and firing more. But that's the same thing, too. It's just like, it's very boring. You just block, fire, fire, block, fire, block. Next guy, block, block, fire, block, fire. Like, there doesn't seem to really be any actual gameplay. You walk a little bit, a thing pops out that's the same one that you just killed. You block, you wait for the shot, you shoot it, you wait for the shot, you go, and you keep doing this over and over and over again. Like, you're going to have a little bit of more difficulty on the bosses that we saw. Not a problem. It's going to take a little bit. But all in all, it's very generic. It's very boring. It seems fan service over just a quality done game. I mean, maybe it picks up a little bit later. The story is not bad. I mean, Squaresoft does a good job of really developing and creating a pretty good story. And the fact that they have everything convinced that you're kidnapped the president when you're trying to save him is interesting. I think the banter and just the dialogue is a little dry and a little kind of unnecessary. There seems to be a lot of bloat in there where it's not really flowing like they do in most of the games. So good story, but not as good actually in the conversationing. But just all in all, I think the levels are so underdeveloped, underwhelming, and boring that the game really just feels more like a schlock than it does like an actual really Squaresoft game. Like, honestly, granted, we were only on the second level playing through, so maybe it's changed, but going by the first level, the introductory level, the first and the second, they're extremely short, they're extremely boring, they're extremely underdeveloped. It just seems to be kind of the level on repeat with mostly one enemy that just keeps respawning over and over and over again. I mean, I know it's not respawning, but it might as well be. It's just the same thing over. The one level had at least the little guys, which, why? You're a mech, and they're little, like, there's no point. That, and then the same mech, and then just, like, over and over as you go through the level. It's just very boring. That boss fight was just kind of whatever, where as soon as you understand you can't fight it and you just dodge it, you're just like, what? Okay, that's it. But nothing wrong with different styles of enemies where one is just avoidance, where the other one is combat and stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. It looks good. It controls fine. The AI with the truck seems to be taking damage when it didn't need to because it's like almost tethered to your ass. And there's just too much wrong with it or just underdeveloped to really make this game into something that it probably should have. Again, we didn't see a whole lot. I have already lost a lot of interest in care playing because of just the very boring levels have just taken me out of the game, and I just don't care enough to want to keep going. But I mean, if you do, maybe the levels will pick up later on. But it just doesn't seem like a very intriguing game that really brings you in and wants you to keep playing. It really feels so kind of drab that it just, you're there, and if you're a really big fan of the game, I can understand you're probably going to keep going with it. But if you're not really a fan of this game and the series or whatever, and I'm sure there's more to it because it's a Japanese thing, then I really don't feel like I think you're going to be more like I am, where it's just so underwhelming that you just don't really care enough, and it doesn't bring you in to want to keep going. At this point, I'm like, I died. Well, cool. Let's go see what other games I have. Because it's not really, there's nothing really there. There's no substance, there's no soul. The dialogue is pretty dry, decent story, looks good, controls well, but you need more. You need the levels to actually bring you in and want to play them. Doing the exact same thing over and over and over again, luckily for a short level, is not really something that brings an audience in. It's just so like, okay, this is boring, let's do this again and again and again, with absolutely nothing that changes whatsoever in the level at all. So all in all, could have been a lot better. Squaresoft at this time was really decent of a company, but I mean, not anybody gets everything right, and this is a series in Japan, and I mean, their standards and the way they want their games are completely different from what we're used to. So like there's a cultural difference there, and you know, this is definitely a game that has substance behind it. So I feel like this is more fan service and more Japanese orientated than it is for, the East over here. Or I'm sorry, the West. Not the East. But all in all, it's a playable game. Don't get me wrong. There's just not really enough there to keep you interested and to really enjoy and just get into. So with that being said, guys, thanks so much for joining. Until next time, you guys have a good one.